very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us on Fair Play this week. Fair Play is that program that brings to you everything sports from the home front, from the foreign scene, and of course everywhere else you think of. My name is Dianime Uko, and I'm not going to be doing this alone. I have my colleague and friend and partner, whatever you would want to call him. We're together in the studio, John Paul Alumona. Good afternoon, John Paul. Good to have you, John.
Good afternoon, Dianime. Nice to be here again.
Okay, so on the program today, we will be taking you very quickly to England, where the Carabao Cup did happen. It was the final yesterday. Newcastle up against the table toppers in the English Premier League, Liverpool. Yes, Newcastle did win the first trophy, or they did, win again after about 70 years. That was the last time they last won a trophy. 1955. They now had to win another one yesterday, defeating Liverpool by 2-1. We'll also have to take you very quickly to the Super Eagles camp to give you an update, because the Super Eagles are already in Kigali, Rwanda, to take on Rwanda in the World Cup qualifiers, after which they'll be back to Uyo to take on Zimbabwe. We'll also bring you up to speed with the NPFL, the matches that did happen over the weekend. We'll also take you to the Uyo Township Stadium, where the Akwa Ibom State Secondary School FA Cup did happen. Yes, the winners emerged, and of course we'll bring you the clips of how that did go on. A lot of these things will come to you very quickly. Our own Victor Osimhen scored a hat-trick over the weekend ahead of our encounter. He's already in camp. That shows you how prepared he is to take on Rwanda to ensure we get the maximum points for the World Cup. This and more will come your way shortly. But let's begin very quickly from England, like I did say. Newcastle United defeated Liverpool by 2-1 to lift the Carabao Cup. Liverpool were the defending champions going into that particular one. But of course they did lose to Newcastle United, and a resurgent team that, of course, we've seen defeat giants in the last how many matches in the English Premier League.
Yes, that's what you can see when it comes to football, and they say don't underrate anything until the final or so. You know, as far as the English Premier League is concerned, Liverpool, they are the big ones, they are the elephant, they are the big boys, as it were. But I believe they underrated the Newcastle players, and then that's what cost them that trophy. And I can tell you, the trophy is more important to Newcastle players than to Liverpool, and you can see they've lost out in the most of the competition they are playing. Champions League,
so far they've lost the
FA
Champions
Cup
League,
and all that. So it's now remaining English Premier League, but hopefully they can lift the trophy. If they can lift English Premier League, that will be okay for
them. Of course, because they are table toppers with 70 points, and Arsenal is following very closely. Not very closely. Very far apart. I think about close to 60 points. So you can see the number of points that they're leading with. So
and then we can also say that maybe they were not serious, knowing fully well that they also have the other route to the Champions League through the EPL.
Well, you will not say they were not serious, because they were planning for a treble. By every thinking, they had thought they were going to maybe go through. That's what you have on the screen there is just the number of the league cups that Liverpool have crashed out of. The FA Cup, they've crashed out of the Carabao Cup, they've crashed out of the UEFA Champions League, 2 of those just within 1 week. So it just tells you that what they have left is the Premier League.
And of course, hopefully, just as you said, with that 70 points in the EPL so far, I believe they have a better chance.
Well, it's a very difficult one to say. You honestly cannot state at this point that Liverpool is already done and dusted with the EPL, because Arsenal are following. There are other teams that are following. Yes, they have about 12 points or 13 point gap, but it is not Uhuru.
Yeah, of course. I don't know that. And then with this loss of Carabao, I think they will sit up.
Okay, so apart from that, that was the Carabao Cup. There were also some matches that were played in the English Premier League. The biggest was Arsenal up against Chelsea. Arsenal defeated Chelsea by 1-0. That goal came from no other than Mikel Merino, and that is the standing currently in the English Premier League as we have it. Liverpool has 70 points out, having played 29 matches. Arsenal are second with 58 points. Nottingham Forest are following closely with 54. Chelsea are fourth. Man City fifth We have Newcastle that defeated Liverpool on 6 points. Then we have Manchester United on 13 points. 13th position.
You are stressing the Manchester United.
Yes, on 13th position. And if imagine
the league is not over yet.
Yes, it is not.
That gap can still be closed. Manchester United has been stressed. They are on the 13th position with 37 points. Not so good. Then Chelsea, 4th position with 49 points. The gap is not much. Chelsea, of all people, you see what they are also struggling. So that is football.
Then the rear.
Yeah, and the rear you see Southampton, where we have our own Onuachu. Unfortunately, he scored over the weekend, yet they still lost that match. Leicester City, where we have Ndidi, they are on the 19th position with 17 points. So for which city, or they are on the 17th position, 18th position with 17 points. Then Wolves, they have 26 points on the 17th.
Well, the table is already on the screen for our viewers to see, so they can know exactly where this team stand. That's really as it is right now. We're not going to waste so much time here. We're going to move very quickly to the UEFA Champions League that did happen just within the week. Now, the round of 16 were completed, and of course, the fixtures for the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals are out. That is it as we have it on the screen. Arsenal will be up against Real Madrid. Aston Villa will take on PSG. Barcelona will be up against Dortmund, while Bayern Munich will be up against Inter Milan. Right now, Arsenal up against Real Madrid. Is that done for Arsenal?
No, on paper, Arsenal will be going home, but on the pitch of play, you can't predict.
Arsenal have gone home.
No, you can't say it for sure. In football, even okay. Look at
Arsenal without a clear-cut striker.
It doesn't matter.
But
they've come this far.
Yes,
just give them a chance. It's not fair to say they are going, but on paper they are home.
Well,
then Aston Villa, PSG, the French guys will take it if it's on paper. Because Aston Villa don't have the strength to man the PSG. Barca, Dortmund, very tough teams. I don't know, but I'll give.
But we saw what Barcelona did yesterday. They defeated Atletico Madrid by 4-2.
Yes.
Dortmund are also not doing badly with a set of young players.
For them
to have come this far.
Yes, they have something to do.
The truth is, beyond what I'm just saying, beyond my sentiments about Arsenal, every team that has made it to the quarterfinals are good, are strong.
Yeah,
so we expect very competitive.
Yes.
You expect very competitive.
And for me, this fixture, the most toughest one will be that Barca, Dortmund, and then Bayern, Inter Milan.
So you are not seeing anything Arsenal, Real Madrid. So it's a one-way traffic for Madrid.
I'm not saying that. Because of the fact that it's football, I'm not dismissing Arsenal actually. They still have something to offer. Don't be surprised they may beat Real Madrid.
All right.
As far as football is concerned.
Very quickly, because of time too, Victor Osimhen did take the spotlight again in the match played in Turkey. Yes, the Galatasaray game, and of course scoring 3. Telling Rwandans that he is coming. Currently, as we speak, he has landed Kigali.
Yes.
So what are we looking forward to having?
It's a strong message to Rwandans and Zimbabweans as well, because that hat trick, I believe he will replicate it in Kigali and also in Gospel Akwayo Stadium. So it's a good one for us. And then also even Ademola Lookman, they are all doing well, and it's good for the Super Eagles.
Currently, as we speak, as you've seen on the screen, Victor Osimhen is the highest goal scorer currently in the Turkish league. So we expect that he will replicate that in the Super Eagles jersey. And of course, will bring us the diadem. Currently, as we speak, we want to win every game. When I say we, I mean the Super Eagles. We want to win all of the games available so that we can stand a chance to qualify for the next World Cup.
And it will be a disaster if the likes of Lookman, Osimhen miss the World Cup. They've not tested the World Cup, and this is the best opportunity for them.
Okay.
But in the next 4 years, they may be old.
No, they will be old.
I'm not trying to
aging this other way.
Yes.
All right.
So in the next 4 years, they may not be at their peak again.
Very quickly, let us go to the Super Eagles camp and bring you up to speed. In fact, not Super Eagles camp yet. Kigali,
where they are arriving.
They arrived just this morning. Some of them arrived last night. We've seen how important this game is to our players. For instance, Osimhen played a match on Saturday, and on Sunday night he was already in Kigali. So it just shows the seriousness to which our players and of course the coaching crew.
Yes, they are already here. Even Bruno Onyemaechi, Papa Dan and Mustafa, Kayode Bankole, Amas Osage, the goalkeeper, Tolu Aro Kodari. They are all there, and you can see the Super Eagles
arriving in
Kigali. So,
and they were welcomed by the Nigerian ambassador to Kigali, who waited for them at the airport. We expect that with all of the expectations from Nigerians, they will make us proud.
They will. But you know, the one thing about the weather in Kigali, they play in high altitude. It may affect the players, but these are professionals. And
currently it is not hot in Kigali.
Okay.
Yes, it's not hot in Kigali. And again, you know, our players are used to different
weather conditions. Okay.
Yes, they're used to different weather conditions.
It's always difficult. I remember when they played, is it in Ethiopia also, they struggled after the second half.
I quite understand.
Yeah.
If you're playing in Sudan, you expect those
so it was very difficult for them. And then let's just hope. And our coach, this is
this is welcome pack.
I tell you, and he has to get 3 points in Kigali, so that he will come to you, and then we will now be sure of another 3 points.
Okay, very quickly, since we're talking the Super Eagles, let us head very quickly to the Confederation of African Football. That's the football house in Africa. Something did happen last week, and that was the re-election of officials for CAF. That will happen. They will now be heading the affairs of CAF for between 2025 and 2029. And most importantly, Dr. Patrice Motsepe has been re-elected for another term.
I think the South African has done very well so far. He has reformed the CAF. Even he has expanded the AFCON, the number of teams, and also
we've seen the prize money.
Yes, and everything. The last AFCON was the highest viewed. This thing are based on AFCON standard and system. So he has done very well. And then returning him, I believe the executive and the stakeholders in Confederation of African Football, they've done well. Unfortunately, our own
Amaju Pinnick lost out. So it means currently Nigeria does not have a representative in the elected body.
But I would even ask, what was his impact? Yeah, what was his impact so far? So he was just there. But I'm not celebrating his failure or whatever you call it. But it's good that the CAF president has been returned and move on from there.
Okay, very quickly, let us come back home. Like I said, it was just going to be a sneak peek into all of these actions because we having a loaded Monday. Back home, there was the Akwa Ibom State Secondary Schools FA tournament that did happen in Uyo, and we followed this event back to back from start to finish. Then
community.
Yes, a community comprehensive secondary school 4 towns Uyo emerged champions in that particular Cup 2025 after defeating Uyo High School by 1-0 in the final match at the Uyo Township Stadium. We had our John Paul Alumona. I was also there, but from the background, it was John Paul Alumona that, of course, reported that community secondary school Akafo trashed West Itam by 5-0 in the female final. Let us bring up the report. After that, we will talk about what did happen behind the scene.
The maiden edition of Akwa Ibom State Secondary Schools FA Cup, which had the team Play, Learn and Become, brought together 4 teams for the boys category and 2 teams in the female category. In the male final match, which was highly entertaining, Community Comprehensive Secondary School 4 towns Uyo dominated the encounter at the detriment of their counterparts from Uyo High School as it ended 1-0 at the regulation time. The female final presented a different atmosphere as the girls from Community Secondary School Akofort scored 5 unreplied goals against their opponent from West Itam Secondary School, Itam.
I'm very happy today because I won this competition. Thank God for what happened today. I didn't know that we are going to win, but God make it.
I feel very good and happy. So happy that at last we carried the cup. A lot of preparations were made concerning the tournament. It was the first time in history that the State FA has donated a cup for secondary school category.
The organizers say the competition was designed to harness raw talents from the grassroots and take the youths off the streets.
We are very, very satisfied. In fact, we are overwhelmed because we never thought it will reach this kind of crescendo. And as you can see, the number that has come out, we believe that if we can catch them from there, we can be able to mold them. We can be able to help them in their career path.
It's so exciting to see these young girls, the way they are playing. Honestly, sitting down and watching them, we can see talents already amongst them. You wouldn't even believe that these are youngsters that have just been groomed with them locally.
Some stakeholders commended the organizers for the initiative, urging them to bring in more secondary schools in the next edition in 2026.
To be a top footballer, you need to be disciplined and committed. Footballers can always go to school.
Coming here to see young people displaying their talent in sports, I am so impressed.
We believe that by engaging them this way, we'll be able to pick up the talented ones that could be used both at the state level and the national level.
I was impressed when I heard the boy from Oron Nation was emerged as the best player of the tournament. So I was so happy about that.
Akwabom State Secondary Schools FA Cup was organized by the State Football Association in collaboration with the State Secondary Education Board to discover young footballers for its state and national teams. In Uyo, John Paul Alum.
And that's a bit from what we could gather at that school sports. Still talking not just local sports but grassroots sports. Chairman of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, Akwa Ibom State chapter, Emmanuel Akpan, has commended the founder of KMK Foundation Football Academy for thinking towards youth engagement and development. The Swan leader made the commendation while touring facilities of the academy. Since we're talking sports, and of course sports development in Akwa Ibom State at the grassroots, we'll also bring you this report. After that, we will be discussing sports development at the grassroots holistically. Let's see that report.
The newly established Nigerian National League 1 club in Uyo, KMK Football Academy, has recruited about 30 players to groom them to stardom. The chief executive officer of the academy, Maurice Nekpayong, made his intention known when he hosted members of Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, Akwa Ibom State chapter, led by the chairman, Emmanuel Akpan. The CEO of KMK Football Academy, Kesley Ekpayong, notes that the academy was born out of his desire to discover football talents from the grassroots, to take the youth off the streets and engage them in meaningful ventures.
Our purpose is to help the young, talented Nigerian players. We have players from the north, east, and south here in Akwa Ibom in KMK Foundation. So our aim is to bring these young, talented players out from the street, groom them for the best future of Nigeria football.
Our intention is to train these players and then take them abroad and ensure that they have a team there to play. Like my boss has already said, we've established contact with Real Betis in Spain.
The NLO is just basically to keep the boys going, to make them have a competitive atmosphere. Yes, I'd rather have a KMK to take over the scene in Akwa Ibom State. We have the manpower, we have the capacity, and we have the players on ground.
The facilities inspected include a spacious hostel accommodation for players and officials, a well-equipped medical department, media lounge, conference room, and laundry, as well as the technical unit and kitchen. The Swan leadership expressed satisfaction with the facilities on ground and thanked the founder and management of the academy for what they have put in place in the camp. The Swan chairman assured them of maximum support to the academy to ensure discovery of football talents in the state.
I want to say I'm very happy. It's a welcome development that we are seeing this kind of thing happening in Akwa Ibom State, and we expect that more people and more things like this should come up for us to be able to harness the talents that we have in Akwa Ibom State. So I'm really grateful that Mr. Kingsley has been able to put up this.
The captain of the academy, Sergio Kun, expressed their determination